The reasons behind Manchester United's recent improvement in form. Erik Ten Hag joined Manchester United as manager in the summer. And we're starting to see some dividends. We're starting to see some good football, some really good performances and some good interchange. And sort of building from the back. I think Manchester United are very much a work in progress under Erik Ten Hag. Not the finished article yet. But there's things I've seen in recent weeks that I've really started to enjoy and really started to sort of see patterns of Erik Ten Hag's Ajax, which for me is one of my favourite football teams of all time. So I'm excited to see Manchester United and how they grow. I think one of the first things that we've got to talk about in terms of one of the reasons why they've improved recently is the build-up has got so much better. Manchester United very much using their back four and goalkeeper in build-up. David De Gea deserves a lot of credit for his recent performances. I think he looks very confident on the ball and he's improving with it at his feet. He's sweeping up better. He swept up per 90 twice as many times as already last season, and that number is set to continue to improve. From a tactical reasons, why United's build-up's got better, I think number one, their attacking shape is obviously causing the opposition some problems. The width from the two wide players, the 10 and the 9 dropping off at certain times, and Fred playing a little bit higher as an 8. When United are playing out from the back, I think one of the concerns from last season, if United got pressed, or even at the start of this season, they got pressed, the opposition would win the ball. What I like about what United are doing, number one, it's their use of their fullbacks to create a kind of 4-1-4-1 shape from wide areas, but also keeping the width, but sometimes popping inside. And Casemiro. Not only has Casemiro got the ability to, receive in the central areas and hold the opposition's press off and simply bounce off to either centre-back or play first time wide or play first time to the fullbacks, but also we've seen at times this season that he drops quite deep, so draws the opposition on. The ball's then shipped out to Raphael Varane, who has less pressure, and then we play reverse. So the space created by Casemiro in this central area has been very, very good, improving United's build-up out of the back. It allows progression from Varane and for Martinez on the kind of diagonal and pushing forward. Another reason why I think the build-up has been better, I think the fullbacks are smarter tactically. One of the things we used to see with United is the fullbacks just staying in these positions. One of the big trends under Erik Ten Hag's teams, their fullbacks at times, or his fullbacks at times, drop behind the centre-backs. So what we see is a really interesting shape where the centre-backs kind of holding their depth, and the likes of Luke Shaw and Diogo Dalot, not at the same time, but at different times are receiving off David De Gea. Not only does it give David De Gea the ability to play that pass, but the space usually in these positions is very, very good, which allows either you could, directly play into that midfield area, or you can switch it, or you potentially could look to Jadon Sancho. And that's a really small thing, but important. The fullback dropping deeper than the centre-back and receiving in the wide areas. How many times we've seen Daley Blind and Matsarawi do that for Ajax under Erik Ten Hag. It's happening again, which I really, really like. And of course, David De Gea's kicking has been very, very good. He's finding passes out wide better. He's finding long balls up in it from a more accurate position, and at times he's far more composed. He looks comfortable on the ball, which is massively improving United's build-up, which is leading to a general improvement of the team. And right, let's move forward to midfield compositions. I think one of the reasons why United have looked a lot better in recent games is actually Fred and Bruno Fernandes. I feel like that's the best combination with Casemiro. I think Casemiro by head and shoulders is the best DM that United have got. His ability to not only win tackles, which is massively important. Per 90, he's won more tackles than any other DM in the league this season. But his passing has got a lot better. Only a few months under Erik Ten Hag, and he already looks like Toni Kroos or Luka Modric in a sense of his range. Let's not say his tempo controlling nature, but his range has got a lot better from that sense. Playing wide, playing short, playing into the feet. Now he looks like a kind of a proper pivot point for Erik Ten Hag. And I think that ultimately means that United's midfield can play a lot higher. We mentioned that Fred and Bruno, they've been a lot better together for me. And I feel they're pressing, the way the United can now press with a 4-5-1 shape high up the pitch and squeeze the opposition like United did very well against Spurs. But also in terms of ball playing, we see quite a bit of variation of one of Bruno and Fred dropping off to get on the ball when the shape is kind of consists of, let's say, one of the fullbacks, or alternatively, both of them being high and joining the centre forward as kind of that 3 number 10 concept that Erik Ten Hag really, really likes his teams to play with. So those advantages for Manchester United are really, really, really big. Which moves on to kind of a little bit of analysis on that. Manchester United faced Tottenham in a recent Premier League game. And I think that environment of having one of Bruno and Fred dropping off the line with a fullback joining the attack, as we can see with this screenshot, Diogo Dalot nice and wide, obviously Anthony inside, and Luke Shaw providing the width on the other wing. I think it's a really important side. That motion of one high, one low causes problems. In this moment, Man United created a really good opportunity. Bruno Fernandes given the space by Fred's positioning. If you look, you've got Bentancur's getting drawn towards Fred. There's no real pressure on the ball. Give Bruno space in that area. He's going to find the pass. He actually found Marcus Rashford over the top with a brilliant ball. Another example of this same situation, this time Fred deep, Bruno high. Again, Bruno operating as that kind of number 10, drawing the attention of the opposition. Fred goes over, around the corner to Marcus Rashford. In this move, another big opportunity for United, creating from deep. And I like that concept that both of these 2 midfielders can kind of drop off the line and the other one stays high and they get on the ball. What I mentioned there with the fullbacks getting involved. Either, you've got Anthony dropping in Dalot high, still retaining that 5 kind of attacking unit, or alternatively, like we saw just then, Bruno high and Fred on the ball in the deep area, and that brilliant reverse pass to Marcus Rashford to slip him through. That's something that we're going to see more and more with Manchester United. But more importantly for United's second goal against Spurs, this is, of course, the move has gone from Luke Shaw carrying out, playing through midfield. A touch for Fred, for Bruno, for Casemiro. Anthony being super high. And again, we can see Fred high with Bruno Fernandes deep and low. This is another element of United's game that's going to improve. Bruno starting in a deeper area here and actually finishing off the move in the box when United have created a 4v3 in the penalty area. Something very, very important. The interchange of both those 2 players is very, very good. I prefer the pressing, the work rate of these 2, versus Eriksen and Bruno in these attacking areas. And I think this going forward will help United. Bruno looks better. He's creating chances. He's winning tackles. He's retaining the possession a lot better. Example of a game against Tottenham, 93% passes completed, 9 chances created, the joint most of any player in the Premier League this season. I feel like Bruno, Fred in central midfield is big. And finally, one of the last little things, obviously, we've kind of got to talk about. We spoke about the possession side of things, the interchange of positions, but we've also got to talk about Cristiano Ronaldo. No Cristiano Ronaldo means a much improved Man United team. United are far more mobile without Cristiano Ronaldo. Against Spurs, they covered 14.5 kilometres. There's nearly 19 kilometres more than they managed in the infamous defeat against Brentford. United haven't scored in a Premier League game that Ronaldo's started in. But also, if you look at the statistics that we've got here, United are covering more distance when Ronaldo's on the bench. They're scoring more goals per game, yet to score when Ronaldo started. They've got a higher XG per game at 1.64. They've got a better quality of shot, higher XG per shot at 0.12. They're winning more tackles per game. They're pressing the ball more per game. They're facing their opponents in much better areas. They're conceding fewer. They're picking up more points, and also the win rate at 75% without Ronaldo versus 0% with Ronaldo. That is the final reason why United have improved recently. Ronaldo's been benched, and we're seeing Marcus Rashford through the middle, and hopefully one day Anthony Martial. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know in the comments below why you think United have improved in recent weeks. Is it just Erik Ten Hag being the guy? We'll see you very soon. Subscribe if you're new. Goodbye.